Leonardo was born on April 15th, 1452 in Anciano, a small hamlet in the municipality of Vinci. He was the illegitimate son of Piero d'Antonio da Vinci, public notary, and a young lady by the name of Caterina. After growing up in his father's household, around the age of 17, Leonardo moved to Florence and began an apprenticeship in the workshop of Verrocchio. His first known work, dated 1473, is a drawing with a view of Monte Vettolini and Monsumano done from the slopes of Montalbano. During this period, Leonardo also painted the Annunciation and the portrait of the noblewoman Ginevra de' Benci. The high point of his experience in Florence was reached with his Adoration of the Magi, painted in 1481 for the convent of San Donato in Scopeto, but which he never finished. The following year Leonardo moved to Milan, entering the service of Ludovico il Moro, where he stayed for nearly 20 years as military engineer, architect, sculptor and painter. In 1483 he completed one of his masterpieces, The Virgin of the Rocks, painted in two versions, which are currently held, one in Paris and one in London. At the same time, he was working on a colossal equestrian monument to honor Francesco Sforza. Between 1494 and 1498, he painted the most demanding and most famous work of his first period in Milan for the refectory of the convent of Santa Maria delle Grazie, the Last Supper. In 1499, Leonardo left the Duchy of Milan, which had been invaded by French troops, and made for Venice, passing by Mantua on the way. In 1502, he entered the employment of Cesare Borgia as an architect and military engineer, following him in his military campaigns in Romagna. The following year he returned to Florence, where he concentrated on painting with renewed vigor and commitment, painting the Battle of the Anghiari in Palazzo Vecchio for the Florentine Republic. His very famous portrait, the Mona Lisa, and his lost Leda date from this period. In 1507, answering the pressing requests from the governor of Milan, Charles d'Amboise, he went back to Milan again. In 1513, Leonardo decided to move to Rome. He lived in the Vatican under the protection of Giuliano de' Medici, devoting himself to mathematical and scientific studies. Following the death of his patron, in 1517 he moved to France, to the court of Francois I, great admirer of his. The king offered him the small castle of Clos-Lucé to live in, not far from the royal palace in Amboise. He drew plans for Romorantin Castle, as well as the drawings of the flood currently kept in Windsor. On April 23, 1519, Leonardo, who had been ill for some time, dictated his will, leaving all his manuscripts and drawings to his friend the painter Francesco Melzi. He died on May 2nd of that same year.